One of the great things about coming to Lahoma is learning about wheat varieties. And David, let's talk about some of the varieties that have been released over the past 5 years or so. How are they faring across the state?
Well, this year they're having an okay year. It kind of depends on where you're at, if we were able to catch some of the rains, but I think a lot of it is going to come back to some of the disease pressure that we had some of those areas. So some of the varieties that you kind of mentioned there would be like a Gallagher, an Iba, Double Stop, Bentley, Stardust, those varieties out of the Oklahoma State program. And if you're able to catch a little bit of rain at the right time, if you're fortunate enough to get that, I think we're going to have pretty good yield potential out there in a number of areas. It's going to come back to a little bit about some of that disease pressure, especially leaf rust. This year, that was more prevalent than stripe rust. We did see a little bit of stripe rust in numerous areas across the state. It was just one that never got up and going, but leaf rust certainly has. So if a producer had that pathogen around and was able to protect that flag leaf, I still think you were going to be able to protect a lot of that yield potential that some of these varieties offer.
And more than anything, you're a scientist and you collect the data from across the state, and at the end of the season, you'll compile all that data and then put it out as a report, right?
You bet. So we do the best we can to try and control everything that we possibly can on our end, and our whole goal is to try and reduce as much variability in these plots as possible. If we can do that, then we can start picking out with more confidence differences between these varieties. So we'll take as many notes as we can, try to make some adjustments. Maybe we have a bad plot, we can get rid of that and use some statistics to again help represent the variety as best as we can. And then when we put those reports out, we try to include any notes that we possibly can, such as this year, Lahoma, we have rust that came in later in the growing, later in the season. So when people look at that variety, those results, and they see maybe a variety that they really like and it's maybe more middle of the pack, well, maybe that could be because it's a variety that's more susceptible to rust. So we maybe want to look at the fungicide. How did it respond when it came to a fungicide? Maybe it's now more towards the top. So try to give people as much information as we can to help them make those decisions moving forward in terms of variety selection. And then we try to post that data as soon as possible. As far as I'm aware of, I know Dr. Edwards started this several years ago. This is the fastest turnaround maybe anywhere in the country, at least that I'm aware of. So within a day, maybe just a couple days after we harvest, we're going to have that data already posted up for people to view, and we'll put it out first on our website, wheat.okstate.edu. And then when we get all of the data finally compiled, we'll go ahead and print our report out and try to distribute that to as many stakeholders as we can.
Okay, thank you much, David Marburger. And for more information on that website, go to our website, sunup.okstate.edu.